All right. So, well, first of all, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, good evening to all of you. Welcome to the opening ceremony of KuriusHacks CE. It's our organization's second hackathon this year. I'm Lewis. I'm the Curious Community Coordinator and one of its many administrators. And I'm an IB Health Science student at Collège Jean Prébeuf, and I've been working with Curious since its foundation a little over a year ago. For those of you unfamiliar with us, Curious is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to empower students to change the world through technology. Since our foundation a little over a year ago, we've organized several events strictly aimed towards initiating students to the world of programming and encouraging social good. Notably, our set of weekly Curious coding workshops over the winter and fall, our 2020 Learnathon in June, and Curious Hacks SE last August. For more information on our previous and future projects, feel free to check out our Instagram, Facebook, and website. By the way, if you also have any proposals yourself of events that we could organize in the future, or if you'd like to collaborate with us, definitely reach out to us. We'd love to hear about that. So in our past endeavors, we strove to create a community of cooperative and innovative student programmers. And now with Curious Hacks CE, we're continuing in the same vein of education, but focusing more on the philanthropic side of programming. As such, we hope to stimulate your interest in world issues that can be solved by leveraging the power of technology, hunger and food security for this event in particular. Over the next 48 hours, you'll hack to solve one or more of the three challenges we are offering you. Alone or in teams, you will have the chance to take on these challenges, ultimately submitting your work at 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon to be reviewed by our panel of curious judges. Someone say something. All right.
All right. What's up?
Perfect. Don't forget to also check out our sponsored challenge, by the way, by Echo AR, wherein you'll have the opportunity to make use of their own AR VR platform without any previous knowledge of code necessary. You can also submit a project that answers both Curious's and Echo AR's challenges, but in the Echo AR challenge, or simply submit to their own challenge specifically without entering in for the Curious prize. It's your choice. And the judging is independent in each case. Also, remember our numerous activities, here's the schedule, and workshops starting tonight and continuing tomorrow. Tonight you can explore the Java programming language, UX design, and much more with industry experts, whilst tomorrow you'll have the chance to meet a ton of students from leading Canadian universities in our post-secondary panel before relaxing during our Among Us game night. In fact, there's a workshop just after the opening ceremony, so stick around for 5 o'clock to delve into web dev with our mentor, Lawrence. Pass the mic over to Ishta, our partnerships coordinator for Curious.
Thank you, Lewis. Hello, everyone. My name is Ishita, and I am the partnerships coordinator for Curious this year. I'm currently a second year student at McMaster University, and I'm studying computer engineering myself. I have a huge interest in machine learning and artificial intelligence, so that's kind of how I found myself involved with Curious and its activities this year. I just want to take a quick minute and thank all of our partners, workshop organizers, mentors, and panelists who came together to make this event a success. So, like Lewis already mentioned, during the next 48 hours, you all will be working to address some of the most pressing issues that people face when it comes to hunger and food security. We've received a lot of support from our partners for this event, Google and Echo AR. Later tonight, Icon One Communications will also be hosting a workshop with us. So make sure you attend that. Special thanks to our workshop presenters, Lawrence, Robert, and John, for having freed up their Monday evening to spend with us. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of our curious mentors who will be available on the Discord during the hackathon should you have any questions at any point. A big shout out to all our panelists who will be taking the time tomorrow night to talk to all of you about their post-secondary journeys. Lastly, a quick shout out to the entire Curious team for having worked tirelessly to pull off this event for this success. I'm very much looking forward to the next 3 days, and I hope all of you are excited too. Back to you, Lewis.
Actually, back to Steven in this case.
Yep, so my turn to talk. Hello, everyone. I am Steven. I'm your president for Curious, and I'm also a student currently studying at Marinopolis College in Korean Applied Sciences, and next year I'll be heading to university doing either computer science or software engineering. So I'm really happy again to have you all here. And I'll be the one today presenting to you the challenges. That's what you guys been waiting for. And so as we've presented before in our advertising, the theme of the hackathon is hunger and food insecurity. And so what we decided to do is we will be presenting 3 different challenges to you, which tie into these themes. And you must submit a project that responds to one or several of these 3 challenges in some form. So when you submit your project on DevPost, please make clear which challenge you're tackling. However, it's not like a super, rigorous, straightforward thing where there's only one way to do it. We're giving you a lot of flexibility with these challenges, and we're very, again, flexible with the submissions. So make sure to have fun with it. So let's dive into it. The first challenge will be to help people in need easily locate food resources in your region. And we have a document prepared, so feel free to take notes, but if there's anything you forgot or if you have any more questions, you can either send us a message or consult that document. But I'll just first go over it orally, so you guys, if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to interrupt me. So the first challenge is, again, helping people in need easily locate food resources in your region. So I'll give you a bit of context. In major cities, there's various charities and nonprofits which often provide food to low-income families and the homeless community. But these shelters may not always have enough food for the community. And sometimes people have, various food restrictions, such as allergies or religious dietary restrictions. And so what we are challenging you to do is building some sort of platform that can aggregate all of these various food resources from food banks to churches, etc., that can serve locally for a person in search of food. And we're very flexible. So this can be in the form of a dashboard or a map or some sort of community platform. Anything that you can really come up with that can help these people easily locate all the food resources that are available to them. And some tips that I would give you is that, for example, if you look at food banks, they have various eligibility requirements. So I can't just go directly into a food bank and ask for food. Sometimes I have to sign up and wait for weeks, and sometimes I'm not eligible. I have to be below a certain income level. So it'd be useful to display that information to the users of that platform. So that's the first challenge. And if you have any questions, again, you can send us, you need more specification, or you're not sure if your solution works, feel free to send us a message. But that's the first challenge.
Could we do it anywhere, like in the world per se, or does it specifically have to be where we are located?
It can be anywhere, just a region. So if you're a beginner, you don't even necessarily have to. You can have a prototype, and it doesn't have to have geolocation. It can be like mock food banks and churches. But if you're more advanced, you can use real food banks for your area, or it can be any other area.
Okay, makes sense.
So with these challenges, we're super flexible depending on your skill level. So that's the first challenge. Is there any other questions for this first challenge? Okay, I'll move on to the second one then. This one is about reducing consumer food waste, and it ties again with our theme of food hunger and insecurity. So in Canada, we waste over 2.2 million tons of edible food annually, when 63% of that food could have been eaten. And so food waste ends up costing us a massive $17 billion, and that's a lot of money. So there are many reasons why this food gets wasted. Many people simply forget to consume their food before the expiration date, or throw it away after the item has seemingly gone bad, or other consumers are simply unaware of how much food they buy, regardless of how much they actually need. So these are just some of the reasons why people waste their food. And our challenge for you, for challenge number 2, is to build some sort of tech-based solution that can reduce consumer food waste. So some ideas of what your project can do is, for example, if you build a reminder app that allows the users to track their groceries or assess expiration dates, so that way people don't forget to eat their food before the expiration date, and they in the end waste less food, or a lot of food get wasted even before they reach the groceries because they're too ugly, quote unquote, for aesthetic reasons. And it already exists, but there's platforms where you can go on there and purchase cheaper food that are less aesthetic, but they still have the same nutritional benefits, but they're sold out at a cheaper price. You can do an AR or VR experience that incentivizes people to not waste food, or any other consumer waste related project. So this one again is also very broad, but as long as it's a tech solution that reduces consumer food waste, it should be good. Is there any questions for this specific challenge? And again, if you're not sure, maybe you don't have your question right now, that's perfectly fine. You can send us a message afterwards. And let's move on to the third and final challenge presented by Curious. So this is food security and education for children as the challenge. So from a very young age, we should be educated on the importance of food as an international issue. Food production and hunger relief in developing countries, as well as consumer waste in developed countries, are both very important issues, very important concerns in the issue of food security on the planetary level. However, not all humanitarian efforts need to focus on diplomacy and corporate negotiations. Half the battle is building awareness, and this is why education is key. So your challenge is to build an app or a website or a game that will raise awareness about the issue of food security amongst children, either through waste or hunger relief. So some of the ideas for this challenge is, for example, you could build a strategy game that focuses on food distribution and hunger relief in a humanitarian capacity. Similar if you guys played the game Plague Inc. or Sid Meier franchises. So something similar to that. A game that educates children about reducing food waste at home. An AR or VR experience representing the world's need in terms of food management or hunger relief, or any other food security related project. So for the third time, this is also a very open-ended challenge. So depending on your skill level, you can do something more or less ambitious. And one tip, because we are partnering with Echo AR, this challenge is particularly compatible with their sponsored challenge, which I'll go on to next. Is there any questions? I'll go on to the Echo AR challenge right after this. But is there any questions for this one?
Is there like a broad definition of like food security you could use? You could clarify?
Like what does it mean to what is food security?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, basically the idea that people have enough food to survive, and like they feel secure about having enough food. And there's various aspects, again, because the word is so broad. Like there's also, in terms of the safety of the food, that would be also security. But I think it mainly ties into the idea of like you feel safe, you have enough food to feed yourself.
Yeah, basically it means like knowing where your next meal is gonna come from.
Yeah.
Like it's just knowing that you will have enough food, not only to survive necessarily, but also like to be okay, and just to know that you will have enough food. Basically.
Yeah, it's more of like a mental assurance type of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how specific it would have to be.
Mhm.
Like, for example, if we were to build an application that helped not only people in need, but
Yep.
anyone, in terms of, I don't know, getting the right nutrients or something food related like that.
Yep.
And then would it be possible to then try to tie it into the challenge, such as, for example, by people using the application, I don't know, it donates or it does something to help people in need, or does it have to be directly used by the people in need?
It doesn't necessarily have, like, if you look at challenge number 2, these are not reducing consumer food waste. These are not necessarily for people, doesn't need to specifically target people in need.
I'm referring more to the food security one.
Yeah, so
I
this one
believe
is
that-
more for, this is targeted towards like the children. So educating them on the importance of not wasting your food.
I think
etc.
the second challenge I was referring to.
Yeah, the
I
second
believe
one.
reduce. Oh no, the first one maybe.
Yeah, the first one.
Help. Yeah.
So for this one, yes.
Help people in need more easily locate food resources in your region.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, I guess for this one, it could be like, okay, you have this application that helps people, and it's food related, and then if they use it, that you help. The application like promises that, oh, if you do this in the application, then we will, I don't know, help people find food in their region, for example. Like, it doesn't have to directly impact them like through the application, or would it happen?
Well, look, we're giving you a lot of room, so as long as it answers this in some way or the other, we'll tolerate it.
Okay.
If yeah, maybe it'd be better if you send a message to Louis, and we'll just confirm, because I'm still not 100% sure of what your team would be building. So just to be clear, I would send a message to.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions for either 3 of these challenges? Okay, I'll move on to the special sponsored challenge by EchoAR then. So this is a separate, well, not necessarily a separate challenge, but we've partnered with EchoAR. And essentially, if you want to be eligible for this sponsored challenge, you need to build the best AR or VR application using the EchoAR platform. And during the hackathon, you'll be able to access for free the business plan features of the platform. And we have a link on the document to register for it, and they're going to offer a separate set of prizes. So what you can do is if you want to only apply for the special sponsored challenge, then you don't need to answer the other 3 challenges and only apply for this one. Or you could do a challenge, and using the resources provided by EchoAR, you can be eligible for both EchoAR, the EchoAR prizes and the Curious prizes. Does that make sense for everybody? If not, that is the end of the presentation for the challenges. Again, I'll be linking the document on our website, and we'll send it as on the Discord to the document with all the explanation. Now, is there any final questions before I pass the torch to Emily?
Is there any will this video we just did be recorded?
Yes, I'll record this video as well. We will put it on our YouTube.
Okay.
All right, Emily, you can go ahead.
All right, so the submissions of your projects are going to be done through DevPost. If you've participated in previous hackathons, as you know, it's going to be done on DevPost. And just to remind you that the submission deadline is on Wednesday, December 30th at 4 p.m. So just make sure, just go on our DevPost, which will link down in our Discord server, and you can also check out how to submit your DevPost, basically. Also, if you need help with your code or anything like that, you can ask our mentors. We have EchoAR in our server, and many other mentors that are willing to help you. So don't hesitate to ask for help.
All right, great. So thanks to everyone who just spoke. So I'm just going to introduce myself quickly. So I'm Fred, and I'm the lead mentor as well as the partnership liaison with the sponsors of the event. I'm a CJEP student in economics, and I'm very interested in programming, mostly in Python, but also some C#. So basically, I just wanted to say for those of you who are still here and haven't already left to start hacking, we just want to wish you all good luck and most importantly, have fun. So yeah, I think that concludes our opening ceremony. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask at any point in our server. You can also DM one of the organizers if there is a more private question, for instance. And yeah, so have fun and good luck.